Hello, and welcome back to the Spring to Life podcast. I'm Caitlin, your host / hormone health coach, femme educator, Pilates instructor, and creator of the Spring to Life method. My goal is to promote feminine body independence and share stories of female resiliency to help you love your body more and unleash your inner superpower, your period. I'm going to keep it pretty short and sweet this week. I want to cover an important topic. This is kind of addressing the mindset shift that needs to take place if you are going to go down the path of harnessing and unleashing your inner superpower, your period. And that is actually looking forward to your period every month. I know before I went down this journey, I dreaded having my period, and it definitely wasn't coming every month, but I just kind of lived in fear of that time coming and having to deal with it. And it wasn't until I really learned how important it was to my health and what it meant for me cyclically, for me as a woman, that I really learned to embrace it and even look forward to it coming each month. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons that you should be looking forward to your period every month. So number 1, your period is your monthly report card. If you're not getting one, you're failing, basically. Your period is your 5th vital sign. And I'm going to take that a step forward and say that ovulation is actually your 5th vital sign, and your period is the byproduct of that. So once you start to become really familiar with your cycle and what's going on each month, you'll know that you want to be looking for ovulation, because that really is the main event. If you're not ovulating, then this whole system, this whole process that you go through every month is not operating correctly. If you're not ovulating, then that is affecting your fertility. You can't have a real period if you're not ovulating. That's why the withdrawal bleed that you get when you're on the pill is not a real period. It's just like built in there to kind of trick your mind into thinking you're having a period. So your period is like a monthly report card. It's going to tell you if your hormones were optimal in the previous cycle. So for instance, if you have a lot of spotting, if you have more than 2 days of spotting before your period, or if you have a lot of brown days before or after your period, this is telling us something about your progesterone. It's maybe telling us that your endometrial lining was not built up properly. These are all things that, you know, if you're tracking your cycle and working with a practitioner, then you can really dive deep into what is going on. But just off the top of my head, those are some things that might be going on. So you want to get your monthly report card. You want to know if your hormones are where they should be each month. Number 2, it is permission to rest. And this is one that I've really come to embrace, but was really difficult to wrap my head around for a long time. And it wasn't until I understood that there are 4 different phases of my cycle, and that they kind of correspond to the seasons. So your menstrual phase corresponds with winter. And what do we think about with winter? We think about slowing down, animals hibernate. It's a time to rest. It's darker outside. This is when we kind of go inward. So before I knew about my cycle, and I've always been a very active person, if I came to like a lull in my energy, it was a constant self-criticism, like I wasn't doing enough, I didn't have enough energy, what's wrong with me? If my mood was off, what's wrong with me? That was constantly like something that I was asking myself. But when you understand that this is like a built-in mini vacation for yourself each cycle, then it becomes something you can look forward to. Who doesn't love vacation? Who doesn't want to take a couple days off? And I know you might not be able to actually take some days off of work, but maybe you can cut back on certain responsibilities. Maybe you can take a break from social media, maybe schedule certain self-care things during those times. If you want to get a massage, or if you want to take some solo time out in nature, or whatever the thing is that you really crave, schedule it during that time and make it kind of special, because this is literally your pink slip to go take some rest, take some time off, take some time for yourself. So no more FOMO, no more guilting yourself. That is not at all what this time should be. And this kind of will roll into the third reason that you should be looking forward to your period. And I wanted to put you in the mindset of what future you could be like if you do suffer from PMS now. But the third reason to look forward to your period is because you're not suffering from PMS, so you still feel good and you can enjoy this time with yourself. You should not be suffering during your period or the days leading up to your period. If you feel like you need to be completely laid up in bed during your period, then that's telling you that something is off in your body. We need to address nutrient levels. We need to address stress levels. We need to address how much you're eating, how much protein you're getting, if you're getting the right amount of macronutrients. There's so many different things, so many different lenses that we can look at to address PMS and period symptoms. But if you are experiencing symptoms that really put you down for the count, that make you feel like you don't want to participate in life at all, then that is a sign, that is a signal to you that there is something to be done that can fill in the gaps and alleviate those symptoms. You should not be having to live with those symptoms because PMS is not normal. So if you're not suffering from PMS and you still feel good, this means that you're working on your hormones, and each cycle shows you your progress, which kind of ties back into number one, that it is your monthly report card every month when you get your period. Now, I'm going to give you a bonus number 4 reason to look forward to your period, and that is for those of you that are trying to avoid pregnancy. When you get your period, it means that you're not pregnant. So it is just a signal to you that things are operating properly. And on the flip side, if you are trying to conceive, your period is that monthly report card telling you how fertile you are, how your fertility is functioning in your body. So it is always a good sign when you get your period. We've been so hardwired in our culture to think of it as something that's shameful and gross and needs to be hidden. And I'm not saying you need to wear your period like an emblem when it's happening. You know, you can go about your business as you feel comfortable with, but it's not something that you should feel embarrassed or shameful about. And with the Spring to Life method, that has really been a core mission of mine, is to be able to influence that mindset for women in my generation, in women that are older than me, but most importantly in future generations that are coming up. I want them to have this knowledge about their body so that they can take proactive actions in order to, have happy, healthy, pain-free periods, and also make informed decisions about their medical care and about their choice of contraception, and know how their choices are going to affect not just their fertility, not just their period, but their overall health and longevity as they age. Now, if you're out there listening and you are intrigued by this idea of looking forward to your period every month, but you feel like you're just not quite there yet, I have the solution for you. Feminine Body Independence is my signature 4-month one-on-one coaching container designed to reconnect you with your superpower through the FEM method of cycle charting, cycle syncing, and hormone balancing foods, lifestyle habits, and supplements that are tailored specifically to you. I'm going to take you from novice to expert in the FEM method of cycle charting, help you sync your exercise, work, and social life, help you eliminate PMS symptoms so you can look forward to that time of the month, and regulate your cycle to 24 to 36 days, and regulate your period to a pain-free 3 to 5 days. If this is something that you are interested in, I would invite you to either DM me on Instagram, FBI, and we'll talk about if it's right for you, or if you are just ready to pull the trigger and dive right in, I'm going to post the link for you to purchase this program in the show notes, and I will be overjoyed to work with you because this is such a nourishing program for every woman, and I will see you there. Just to recap, let's talk about those 3 reasons you should be looking forward to your period each cycle. Number 1, it is your monthly report card. Number 2, it is your permission to rest. And number 3, you're not suffering from PMS, so you still feel awesome. And bonus, number 4, you're not pregnant, or if you're trying to conceive, it means that you are fertile and you're having a healthy cycle. So there are all of these reasons to celebrate getting your period each month. So I hope that this helped you to shift your mindset and how you think about your period. It's definitely been such a healthy shift for me in how I'm able to think about my body and what it does for me each and every month and what it means to be a woman, really. So thank you for joining me today for this short and sweet episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Spring to Life podcast this week. Please check out the show notes for the resources mentioned. You can DM me on Instagram if you want to learn more about FBI, or you can just sign up and we'll get started rocking and rolling. If you learned something new, or if you resonated with this conversation, if it helped you shift your mindset around your period, please share. Tag me in your Instagram stories. I'm at Spring to Life Method. Leave a 5-star review, or simply share it with a girlfriend, because all women deserve to know their superpower.